the situation that the guys who had the heaviest capital investment per hundredweight were the ones that were getting picked off. When we started here, there was roughly 20 guys, all milking small dairies like this. Were it.
But our leisure time increased quite a bit. We found out that we could feed quite a bit less and make quite a bit more money with a lot less work.
For 25 years, I chased high milk production. Now I don't. You think more in terms of milk per acre than milk per animal unit. And that's hard to wrap your head around.
If you're trying to set records for breeding purposes, it might not fit. But if you're interested in making money to pay off a mortgage, if you really want to build wealth, real wealth, this is like oil or timber or mining. All real wealth goes back to the soil eventually. Everything else is secondary in industry. We were able to be owner-operators, both. And I like a lot of quiet. The grazing offers a lot of quiet. I spend a lot of time out there, just walking around, changing fences or whatever, which I really enjoy that work. I'd rather do that than a lot of things. Climb silos. I really would. Matter of fact, there are some days when I'm out there and you kind of almost feel a little guilty for getting paid to do what you do. I mean, that's honestly, we've talked about that. My wife and I are like, we're getting paid to do this today.
Yep.
This is pretty cool. Because we enjoy being out in the sunshine, the fresh air, the same as the cattle. And I would much rather be building fence than climbing silos or worrying about bills to pay that I can't pay.
Yeah.
I could have just a good line of hay equipment, forget all worrying about getting decent boxes and choppers, and the silos were wore out, the unloaders were wore out. And I'd also had some health issues with the silos. The constant dust and mildew. I've been trying to work on my sinuses, but that constant exposure for, well, I've been going up since I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
And after 40 years of going up silos, they said, you really need to quit it. And so we did. And then I got gas twice and lived through it. And, you know, I didn't know what it was the first time.
Yeah.
I thought it was just something I had in my lungs, you know. But you're fine during the day. I mean, you feel a little crumpy. Well, you wake up in the middle of the night, you think a big man standing on your chest. You just can't get air in. And finally they told me what that was. They say you're not supposed to heal from it, but you do.
Yeah.
Took about 6 months before you can take a deep breath again. But it does eventually heal.
Yeah.
But my wife, she really didn't want me to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Our leisure time increased quite a bit. I think it's, as I said before, I got 3 kids, but all with their own farms, and I don't believe if we had not went to grazing that they would have been farming today. Because we found out that the benefits of grazing were that you could have a life and a family and get have some fun along the way.
It really frees you up. My wife noticed one big thing. She says, now that the cattle are out so much, you have time not only to do the row crop work, but you have time to do maintenance. Where before, when they were in all summer, you still are that clean bed all. And you just, it's nice to have the variety of, you know, in routine. That's nice. Kind of a little different. We feel satisfied in that the neighbors give us a lot of compliments too. And you know, you worry about your perception. That's another thing you have to be concerned with any business that's consumer oriented. And I can't ever, if the neighbors have a complaint, they're not telling me about it. Okay, they have a different perception. All the cows calve right here. And there are days and there'll be cars lined up when we're calving a lot, and they just want to stop and watch the calves be born. And of course, I live there, so my wife has binoculars right in the kitchen window, so she can watch each calving and monitor.
Yeah.
And but that's really worked well for the community too.
Great.
to understand that I had a mindset that was all confinement. Okay, that's just the way you did things.
Yeah.
Cows couldn't eat anything less than alfalfa. You know, I don't mean to make fun of that, but that just so you understand it, it's a long ways from where we're at now.
Yeah.
It was hard to accept some of that, especially when you're in deep financial, I wouldn't say trouble, but we were just treading water all the time.
Yeah.
Basically, your capitalization cycle was, if everything worked out good, you had it paid for by the time whatever it was wore out.
For 25 years, I chased high milk production. Now I don't. You think more in terms of milk per acre than milk per animal unit, and that's hard to wrap your head around.
Mary Jo, 2 words.
What is that? What are those 2 words?
Mary Jo.
Oh, I love that. That's on tape, Mary Jo.
We had to tear the barn down while we milked cows.
You can't believe it.
Yeah. And this guy is somebody that comes from down the street every now and then, bothers me.
Question. What that's like, well, that's a great.
It's a great little quote.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the smell of that in the morning.